Rimrock Auto Arena, TDS Fiber Field. Tonight, it's the Billings Outlaws playing host to the Salina Liberty. Jay Cohn here. We're happy to have Michael Bazemore, former Outlaw star, now the MSUB Athletic Director. Michael, good to have you along tonight.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We're excited about this contest. We got Salina Liberty, former Outlaws coach Haran O'Neill here, bringing his Liberty to town. And we've got Cedric Walker and the Billings Outlaws looking in this battle of undefeateds. Who's going to prevail?
I predict a very tough battle. Obviously, we want to make sure that the Outlaws are going to hopefully come out on top, but Coach O'Neill, obviously, he's a bit familiar with Billings and success, so let's see what we have.
All right, well, welcome into the broadcast tonight, fans. We're excited to have you here. Rimrock Auto Arena, TDS Fiber Field. Everyone's lined up, getting ready to go. You can see there's Haran O'Neill in the picture for you, getting ready to watch his new team. I guess he's been with Salina for several years now, but it's a homecoming for him. His family still lives here, Michael, and he was your coach when you were with the Outlaws back from 06 to 2010.
Yeah, it's interesting. He recruited me to Billings, Montana. I had no idea where Billings or Montana was, but long story short, I was able to have a great career under Coach O'Neill, and very thankful for him bringing me to Billings, Montana.
And on the Outlaws sidelines, there we see Cedric Walker, the head coach, in his 29th year of coaching college football, organized football, most of it in the Arena League itself. So we're in for a whale of a game. Both teams come in, as we mentioned, undefeated. And let's talk a little bit about the matchup here tonight, Michael. I'm calling it, we're going to keep an eye on these kickers. We've got two of the best kickers in the AFL squaring off. We've got Shane McInerney, the kid from Galway, Ireland, kicking for the Liberty, and Bailey the Boot Giffen for the Outlaws. And both of them have really set kind of the pace among the kicking, and with these rebound nets, if you haven't watched the AFL, it adds a whole new dynamic.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's just football, Jay, and so you got to make plays, and obviously you have three elements of the game: offense, defense, special teams. And sometimes when you have those close matchups, special teams is the ultimate difference.
I love how simple it gets down. It's just football, guys. Doesn't matter if you got boards, surrounding the field. If you got the size of the field, it basically is those basic elements of the game. Interesting that if you haven't watched the Outlaws this year, we have a whole new team. Not a player on the roster this year that played for the Outlaws last year.
Yeah, and that's just unique in itself, but obviously Coach Walker did a great job of recruiting players and getting them to buy into his system, as they obviously have some wins early in the league. And so it's a matter of them being consistent and continuing on that success.
When I talked to Coach Walker yesterday and talked to him about how he goes about putting the team, he said two things. He wanted to be young, and they are very young, average age just over 25 years old.
Hey, Mike.
And character. Character.
I hate to break up the fun, but we got a problem.
One of the big wild cards in all of organized sports. So he's looking for age and character, and a lot of it is the chemistry that you can't put your finger on it, it just develops, right?
Move your car, please.
They're telling one of the fans that they have to move their car. A little loud for our viewers at home. Sorry about that. So anyway, just to mention, on the other hand, Salina comes into town with a handful of former Outlaws on their roster. We've got quarterback Chuck McCollum Jr. We've got backup quarterback Rio Benson, running back Roderick Jarrett, who's a wide receiver and a defensive back, and then Pika Leota, big 6'5", 315-pounder out of Asheville, North Carolina. So fans that are here in the building and watching tonight, they're going to recognize some of these players that now are wearing the Liberty uniform.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the tricky part about sports, is where you gain an affinity for certain players and then they go and play for an opposing team. It's one of those things with sports, but Coach O'Neill was no stranger to accumulating talent, even if that talent is from a different team.
So here is Shane McInerney kicking off. And will it be returned? It will. Running it back, Arthur Anderson, the fourth, and around the corner and out and down at the 15-yard line. Anderson out of Concordia, out of Nebraska, 6'1", 190. So right away, McInerney with a good kick came up a bit short. He told me before the game, I had a chance to talk to the young man. He's from Galway, Ireland. He said he was hoping to kick it through the uprights and get one of those deuce to start the game. Well, not quite, but he came close.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that's great coverage by the kickoff team and a great return to put the offense in a great position to start the first drive.
Let's take a look at the Outlaws offense. Isaac Harker is your quarterback. Most recently played in the CFL, but did his college at the Colorado School of Mines. He's 28 years old, 6'1", 195. And in the backfield behind him, Hunter Swoboda out of Ouachita Baptist out of Arkansas. He's the fullback in motion. There goes Anderson. Ball in and out of his hands, almost picked off over there. That's Dontre Matthews out of Eastern Michigan. This is going to be a very fast-paced game, Michael. You're used to the indoor football game. Tell our viewers a little bit just how fast is the league. The field's only 28 yards wide. It's just a whole different, it's all about fast pace.
Yes, different dynamic, very quick movements, obviously just because of the field dimensions, and the great ones adjust, and that's why we have these players right here.
Harker with Swoboda behind him, drops straight back to pass. Wide open out in the flat, that's Carrance Higgins loose inside the 15, down to the 10 where the tackle is made by Freddie McGee.
Yes, great play design as you bring a receiver, through the defense. It was zone coverage, and as you see, great delivery by Harker.
Harker has had an outstanding start here for the Outlaws. Of course, both teams we mentioned come in undefeated. Salina comes in at 2-0, having defeated Southwest Kansas 2 weeks ago, and then the Nashville Cats on the road last week. And of course, last week, Billings had a forfeit, picked up a win over Rapid City, who decided not to play after Billings made the trip all the way to the South Hills. Here's the give to Swoboda in the backfield, across the 10-yard line, down for a gain of 2. Tackle made. Looks like Justin Foster in on the tackle along with Aaron Jenkins. So the Outlaws facing a second and 10 now.
And as we see now, the Outlaws are just trying to keep Salina honest. As he started out with 3 passes, now mixing in the run, just trying to make sure that they obviously are going to be respectful of the run.
Isaac Harker, your quarterback, 6'1", 195. He also played for Indiana State for a time, then switched to the Colorado School of Mines. Most recently had a couple years in the CFL with the BC Lions. And I believe Saskatchewan as well. Swoboda in the backfield behind Harker, in motion. That's Dwayne Brown. The pass intended for Brown, and it's picked off. This is Freddie McGee. Loose, and the turnover goes in favor of the Liberty, and he hauls it in and returns it out to the 17-yard line.
See right there, that was a classic mistake by a quarterback where he stared down his receiver and didn't recognize coverage as the safety was locked in on the receiver, and just made a great play on the ball.
Telegraphed that right away. It was easy for the defensive back, so Harker has to be talking to himself as he heads to the sidelines. And that'll bring the Salina Liberty offense. Of course, with the Ironman rules, we've got lots of players on both sides playing both ways. We'll keep you abreast of that. But you'll recognize the quarterback, Charles McCullum Jr. He played for the Outlaws both in 2022 and 2023. And also in the backfield with him, the sidelines, number 99, Pika Leota. He's a big drink of water. McCullum back to pass, and he's going deep right away, intended for D-Wash, Demarius Washington, but the defense in on the stop there. Cedric Thomas for the Outlaws.
Yes, great play, great discipline by Thomas, as he didn't get flustered for taking a shot early, trying to just take the top off the defense, and Thomas made a great play, read the receiver right, and great job finishing the play.
Demario Washington, the intended target. He's a native out of Dallas, Texas, 6'5", 205. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Liberty, just underway here from the Rimrock Auto Arena, TDS Fiber Field. Chuck McCullum, the quarterback. And there goes D-Wash. Ball on the turf, still loose in the end zone. This could be a touchdown for the Outlaws. Recovered by Terrence Ames Jr., and that's the opening score of the game. Looked like a bad snapper when McCullum just had a hard time handling it.
Well, it looked like McCullum took his eyes off the ball. The snap wasn't terribly too bad. It was a little bit off center, But when you take your eyes off the ball, obviously bad things happen because that ball is very, very funny when it bounces. Yes.
Is it 58? It is 58.
Yes. A great job by
Whiteside. That's John Whiteside. Yes. It's Whiteside. I stand corrected. Out of Central Michigan, one of those Chippewas. We've got 4 players on the Outlaws from Central Michigan. So John Whiteside recovers the bobbled snap as it bounded in the end zone. The Outlaws draw first blood.
That makes my heart smile. Big man in the end zone.
Absolutely. And our Outlaws kicker, Bailey Giffen, splits the uprights. And the extra point is good. So the Outlaws strike first. 2 turnovers first for Salina. They picked off a Isaac Harker pass to give them good field position. But right away, McCollum dropped the snap on the second play from scrimmage for the Liberty. And a scramble for it. The ball went in the end zone. And big John Whiteside, the defensive lineman, 6'1", 295. Here it is. McCollum just looked like he dropped it.
Yeah, and so interesting because McCollum is a veteran quarterback. And sometimes you got to know when the play is dead. Just jump on the ball, live to fight another down. Don't give up the, obviously, splash play and a turnover and a touchdown.
There's head coach Cedric Walker shouting out some instructions from the sidelines, and that's exactly how he didn't probably want that interception right off the bat, but he'll take that turnover for a touchdown with John Whiteside. So it's the Outlaws drawing first blood, 7-zip. So we await the kickoff now. Bailey Giffen. Bailey the Boot, they call him. We have a kicker that already has a nickname, Mike.
I love it. Nicknames are key. It helps the fans create just that camaraderie with players.
Here's the kick. Bounce off the net. That's live. Fielded there by Otis Odom. Gets loose. Still along the boards. Tackled there by the kicker, Giffen.
Great job by Odom, as he was in a pretty dangerous situation. And he figured out a way to be shifty, and some of the short guys that play football generally are very shifty and hard to bring down, and so he made a great play and okay starting position for Salina.
These rebound nets add a whole new dynamic to the indoor football game here in the Arena Football League. Anything that bounces off those nets is a live ball, including the kickoffs. You can pass off those nets, and it's an exciting brand of football if you haven't had a chance to catch it in person.
Maybe we have a penalty. I think maybe a face mask.
So that'll give Salina even better field position as they march it out to the 21-yard line. Aaron Claunch is our head official, the referee, announcing that infraction against the Outlaws. So Salina will put it in play at the 21-yard line. Just 4 yards short of midfield. McCollum will try to make up for that fumble. He gets the snap, looking, gets some pressure, wide open, and I mean wide open. That's Tracy Brooks into the end zone. Did he hit the board right ahead of that? They look at it, and now they're going to rule it a touchdown.
Yeah, see that? And watching that coverage, you saw the cornerback's bail, and so someone had to replace as the receiver coming underneath. He was wide open, and he found obviously the hole in his own defense. And yeah, we got to rally to the ball and make a play after that.
Tracy Brooks, you can see he got hit, but he dove right across the end zone for the score. And now here is Shane McInerney, the kicker for the Liberty, to try to tie this game up. 8:37 to go. And the clock running here in the first quarter. And Salina will try to tie this ball game up. The hold by Jamario Benson. The kick by McInerney is good. And we're all tied at 7 each with 8:25 to go here in the first quarter. We told you it's a fast and furious pace, and that's what we've seen early.
Yes, very fast pace. 2 quick scores in a matter of 3 minutes. And so fans, always be tuned in. You can miss a good score.
You gotta make some noise,
Yeah, I was going to ask if.
Sorry, our PA announcer is drowning us out here. But that's public address announcer Michael Long. and he's got a good set of pipes.
Absolutely.
Hard to compete with him. So John Whiteside records the first touchdown for the Outlaws, a recovery in the end zone on a fumble by Chuck McCullum. And right away, the Liberty comeback on a pass from McCullum to Tracy Brooks. That would have been about a 29-yard pass play, and they score right away. Both extra points were good, so we're all tied up at 7 apiece. You see on your AFL scoreboard, Lithia Dodge, one of our sponsors here for your Billings Outlaws. Jay Cohn along with Michael Bazemore. Michael in his 3rd year now with the MSU Billings Athletic Department as the athletic director. That's going good. I'm assuming, Michael?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. Definitely want, for me, I'm very maniacal about success, so I don't want to rest on any laurels of what we are currently doing. Keep pushing the needle forward so that we continue to have our success and grow that success.
But just this past year, the MSUB athletic department had a stellar year. The women's basketball team made it all the way to the quarterfinals.
Yep,
they make it
16, yes.
And lost in a tight game to make it almost to the semis. The men made it to the playoffs as well, so they're off in good stead. Right now we got softball and baseball going on at MSU Billings here in the Magic City, so lots of sports activities for local fans to get a pick from. Here's McInerney, bangs it off the net, still live, picked up. That's Anderson, and Outlaws fortunate to get that ball. You can see how those caroms off the net, you never know where it's going.
Yeah, you mix in the football with the nets, and there's just no telling what's going to happen. And definitely a favorable start for the Liberty on defense, as obviously they are in great territory, making the Outlaws go the full length of the field, and that's always great for a defense to start.
We've got some outstanding coaching going on in this game. We've got Haran O'Neal, he was a first ballot Hall of Famer in the IFL. We've got Cedric Walker. We've got Shedrick Bonner, maybe the greatest of all time, one of the GOATs as far as the quarterback back in his days in the IFL as well. He's in the Hall of Fame. Here's the pass now from Harker. It's complete to Carrance Higgins, out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Defense right again, Freddie McGee, who just had a big run back on that interception just a couple possessions ago. Clock running here. You're watching AFL football action from Rimrock Auto Arena, TDS Fiber Field. The Outlaws and the Salina Liberty are all tied up 7 apiece here. Clock ticking down, you see on the scoreboard, towards the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. Anderson, the receiver, along with Dwayne Brown, split out to the near side right below us. Decent crowd here tonight as these two undefeated teams do battle in the AFL. Harker going deep, has a man, wide open, and that's a touchdown to Carrance Higgins.
It's a great play when you identify the defense is in man coverage. You want to find your mismatch, and obviously Harker, great pass to Anderson. And now we have a little bit of robo celebration, and that's always fun to see, but great pitch and catch from Harker to Anderson.
Here it is on the replay. Harker trying to make good after throwing that pick early, and this time he finds his man. Carrance Higgins, he's out of Southern Arkansas, 6'1", 198. He has some speed. You can see that. Took advantage, as Michael Bazemore pointed out, that one-on-one. So here's Bailey Giffen. See if he can split the uprights and add to this lead for Billings. Right through that. It's very narrow. Those uprights are only 9 feet apart, and that's a very narrow thing. You get down there and look up there, it's like, how do they hit that? But Giffen has been an outstanding kicker for the Outlaws here in through the first 3 games. He's got a couple of deuces. Of course, fans, if you kick off and the ball goes through the upright from the goal line where they kick off from, that's called a deuce. That's worth 2, and we've seen that in several of the games. It can really add up those points. You can come back in a big-time hurry. I don't think any lead is safe.
Yeah, and that's what makes arena football exciting. You know, the fans want to see points. Obviously, as a defensive guy, I'm a little impartial to that, but I understand it from a fan's perspective. And so, yeah, the kickers, they're ones where you want to find a kicker that's more accurate than power.
Bailey the Boot Giffen already has the nickname The Boot. 5'9", 185 out of Lamar. He's a native out of Bryan, Texas. He said, just reading some of his quotes, he said this is the most fun he's had playing football. And that speaks volumes. You know, for all the trials and tribulations of the Arena Football League this year, this kicker says it's the most fun he's had. Off the net, it's fielded. This is Otis Odom. Still loose, but no, he's hit right away as he gets out just near the 5-yard line. And the tackle made there by Carrance Higgins as well. So he's having quite a first quarter here.
Yes, great play, great coverage.
You can see how those rebound nets come into play. Here's a replay on the tackle made there by number 8 as well, Isaiah McFarland, one of the new adds to the Billings roster. He's out of Ellenwood, Georgia.
We have a great crowd this evening, so it's happy to see the community come out to support. This is fun. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, good atmosphere. It's going to be loud in here. McCullum, the Liberty at the 5-yard line, looking, throws over the middle, has his man. That's Demarius Washington, excuse me. A complete pass, and a penalty flag flies now. Let's see what the call will be. Looks like it might be some trash talking or something against the Liberty.
You know, sportsmanlike conduct. So that's just maturity from a player. You know, you definitely want to be excited and show passion, but at the same time, you got to have discipline.
Number 1 on Salina.
There it
Penalty
is.
results in half the distance to the goal. First
So
down.
that will negate that first down yardage on that pass as they back him up to the 9-yard line.
And I predict McCullum to Washington to be a pretty common connection tonight, as it's hard to find a 6'5" receiver in this league with skills. And so we definitely want to try to use that as best to your advantage.
Absolutely. He had 5 receptions in their win last week. D-Wash did, that's his nickname. Here's McCullum back again. Now he's got some pressure, scramble, throws across the middle, in and out of the hands. Intended for Maurice Ashley. Isaiah McFarland was there on the defense, but Ashley would tell you he should have had that one.
Yeah, absolutely. If it hits your hands, you got to catch it. And a bit of a slight scramble by McCullum. And when you have a receiver that comes across the middle, you got to catch that. And obviously, he did not do a good job with that.
Ball was a tad high, but Ashley would say he should have had that. Maurice Ashley out of Dean College, native of Boston, Massachusetts. Just love where all these players come from. They want to play football. In motion, here goes Ashley now. McCullum looking for him, getting some pressure. Throws over the middle, almost intercepted by Derek Harvey. The defensive back for Billings had his hand on it, just couldn't collar it.
Yes, and so right there, Harvey should have dropped some depth as he saw a receiver coming into his zone. He sinks a little bit. Now that one-hand tip, a two-hand interception.
Here's another look. McCullum surveying the field, and then goes to his outlet.
Second down.
Harvey was right in the way, squeezing that ball. Should have had that. 3:57 to go. 14-7 Outlaws now. Both teams have showed their explosiveness here in the early going.
Now the Liberty are behind the chains a bit, and so I'm expecting something to just try to get back a good 10 yards here.
McCullum standing at his own goal line. Lets it go, it's intended. And a penalty flag flies. That was intended again for Demarius Washington. And they're going to call the Outlaws pass interference.
Pass interference. Number 4 on Billings.
To the dismay of the Outlaw crowd.
First
Cedric
down.
Thomas, the Outlaw player, gets flagged. Looked like it was close play, but there was players for the Liberty immediately calling for the flag. So that'll be first down. That pass interference call against the Outlaws. Give new life to the Liberty.
When you recognize that the officials are going to call it close in favor of the offense, now as a defensive back, you got to adjust because you don't want to just continuously give up pass interference calls.
All right. Ball now just shy of the 15-yard line. There's Ashley in motion. Quick pass out to Edward Smith Jr. They call him Fast Eddie. Fast Ed. Pass complete out to the 18, maybe the 19-yard line.
When you have on neon green shoes, I would hope that you can blaze.
Yeah, those are like fluorescent green.
Very recognizable.
Those are Philly Fanatic green.
Yes, absolutely.
Michael Basemore, a native of Philly, so he would appreciate that color green. All right, Chuck McCullum now facing a 2nd and 7, and the Liberty throws across the middle. Again, D. Washington brings it inside Outlaw territory down to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great play, just a dig right there from Washington, and he sat down right in the middle of the defense.
Stop here made by Omar Hemphill Toledo, young man from Rocky Mountain College. Like to see some local talent playing here at the Outlaws, and he's certainly representing the local schools in the NAIA. The kicker for Salina, Shane McInerney, he played the NAIA. Most recently, kicking for the Arizona Rattlers. All right, so now here is a first and 10 for McCullum and company, and the Liberty get flagged for.
I think that's been the 4th or 5th flag this possession. So, unlike the first couple possessions, this one is
False
being
start
stopped
on the offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty, first down. This will also be the
Our
second
referee
media
tells us
timeout
it
of
was
the
a
quarter.
false start. Well, we got our first media timeout. We're going to take a quick break. It's Billings 14, Salina 7. You're watching Outlaw football from Rimrock Auto Arena.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Putting new roofing or siding on your home is not just about slapping on shingles. It's an engineered system. Hi, I'm Mitch Donahue, and this is my son Dylan.
We're proud to be local experienced contractors using the best materials around. We don't just meet code requirements, we exceed them.
Your new project is an investment. With Donahue Roofing and Siding, you can put your money into your home where it belongs.
Why not use the best? Call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
Oh, hey there. Are you drinking out of a regular cup? Why, when you can have a loud cup?
You can be loud and then have a sip.
It's not loud in here, so where's my cup?
Go out loud!
Yeah!
Let's go!
And we're back. Rimrock Auto Arena, TDS Fiber Field. Billings Outlaws leading the visiting Salina Liberty 14-7. There's visiting coach Haran O'Neill back in his familiar stomping grounds here in Billings. Of course, Haran won several titles with the Billings Outlaws back in his day. And he loves coming back to Billings. His whole family still lives here. Said he hasn't been back here since March, so it's been a homecoming personal one as well as a professional one for him. McCullum dropping back here. 1st and 10, throws across the middle. Ball might have been tipped because it came up way, way short. Intended again for Demario Washington.
Yeah, and so McCullum has to get air on that pass because his angle was a great position for Thomas to undercut that and make a play on the ball.
That's Cedric Thomas. Also one of the new additions to the Outlaws roster. He's out of Fayetteville State. Cincinnati, Ohio is his hometown. 5'10", 170. He holds down one of those safety positions, cornerback. All right, so for the Liberty, 2nd and about 5. The ball just over the midfield stripe. Here's McCullum back to pass. Flag flies, some pressure, and McCullum just throws it into the stands, and another flag flies at the far end of the field. So we might have multiple flags. Let's see if they offset. The officials discuss. Now, one difference is that last year in the CIF, if the ball went in the stands, you got to keep the football. That's not the case here in the Arena Football League. They want you to, they'll give you a souvenir, but they want the balls back.
Yeah, I believe the announcement was, if it's a ball, you keep it. If it's a player, throw it back on the field.
Might have been that first game when they were waiting for all the arena football, the official arena footballs to show up. It was they were at a premium. All right, here's the call with our head referee, Aaron Klonch.
Two penalties on the play, both on Billings. Offsides, number 8. That penalty is declined. Illegal twist on the defense. Number 8 and number 2. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, 2nd down.
So both infractions against the Outlaws. And that'll put the Liberty in good shape. 1st and 10, ball inside the Outlaws 20 now at the 19-yard line. It's a 50-yard field. The end zones are 8 yards deep.
Yeah, legal twist. So in most arena leagues, the defensive line is not allowed to run games or twist. And so when you get caught doing that, you're definitely going to get flagged.
Got it. All right, here's McCullum looking for a quick pass. Now he's going to go deep into the far end and overthrows everybody. His intended receiver down there, Maurice Ashley again. He's been targeted the last 3 or 4 times at the Liberty. And another penalty flag, this time. Looks like it might have been against Billings. It looks like they're going to mark it off. Well, let's see. They're still talking about it. Final seconds ticking down here in the first quarter. And let's just say, fans, it has not disappointed. We thought it was going to be a very close to the best game with lots of fireworks. And we have not been disappointed. They stopped the clock now with 1 second left as referee Klotz comes over to talk with well, that will bring us to the end of the quarter. Here's a quick announcement.
Defense. It was an automatic 1st down. After the incomplete pass, we'll have 2nd down, Salina.
All right, 2nd down when we come back, but that's the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
The Billings Outlaws leading the visiting Salina Liberty 14-7. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass. In a world where only the strong survive, one team stands above the rest. The Billings Outlaws. Get ready for the ultimate showdown where the gridiron turns into a battlefield. Are you ready to witness raw power, unrelenting spirit, and the true heart of champions? Join the Outlaws Nation and be part of the revolution. Don't just watch history being made. Be a part of it. Billings Outlaws. Defying the odds. Rewriting the game.
When storms happen, storm chasers from out of state immediately follow.
You've probably seen them running around town lately. My father has owned this company for over 20 years.
I've been local my whole life, and we're going to be here long after the storm is over.
Donahue Roofing offers an unprecedented lifetime warranty.
We're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We'll work with your insurance company to make it easy on you.
When you need help,
Choose local and call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
And welcome back, fans. You're watching live football action, arena football action from Rimrock Auto Arena here in Billings, Montana. TDS Fiber Field at 14-7. The Outlaws have the lead, but here's Chuck McCullum and the Salina Liberty offense with the ball in Outlaws territory. McCullum, pass is complete. Good enough for a first down. That's complete out there to Ed Smith Jr. Fast Ed.
Yeah, we call those feeler plays where the offense just wants to feel what type of defensive coverage they're receiving, and so a quick hitch from the receiver on the outside and setting up a 3rd and 6. It seems.
I stand corrected. I had said that last down was first down. It was second down. So here's 3rd and 6. The Outlaws looking to come up with a stop here. Of course, there's no punting in the Arena Football League. McCullum sends his man in motion across the middle. It's tipped.
That's a great break on the ball.
Tipped by Derek Harvey.
Great break on the ball. Great disguise. McCullum thought it was an open route, and Harvey made a great break on the ball.
Here it is. The replay, you'll see exactly what Michael Bazemore is talking about. Oh, he was intended for Demario Washington, and Harvey stepped right in there, Derek Harvey, and got his hands on it. He would love to have hauled that in. There was a lot of green between him and the goal line. Okay, here's a big 4th down now.
That would have been a good play to an awesome play. Pick 6 that.
Big Pika Leota in the backfield right in front of Charles McCullum. And now in motion, here goes D-Wash for the Liberty. McCullum back, across the middle, and a pass interference and a touchdown as Demario Washington hauls in the pass from McCullum. It was Omar Hemphill Toledo on the defense, but he drew the flag, but it doesn't matter because it was a great pass. McCullum put that on a string.
Yeah, and that was a great move by Washington right at the end, at the top of his route. He gave an outside move.
Extra point.
And unfortunately, the defensive back, Toledo, he bit on the outside move and then right underneath. A nice move by Wash. By D-Wash.
Toledo Hemphill got called for maybe Toledo got called for maybe hanging on there, but here's McInerney to try the extra point and right through the uprights, and the game is tied at 14 apiece, 13-28 here in the second quarter, and we're all tied up. Both teams, their offense has shown quite the ability to score. McCullum has shown exactly why he had such successful seasons in dual years for the Outlaws in 2022 and 2023, but actually the Outlaws have showed that they can answer the bell as well. So not disappointed here in the early going. We're all tied up.
Yes, absolutely. Very poor. As you can tell that the Liberty are coached by a very seasoned, poised coach, as they had obviously a costly mistake in the first quarter, but next possession they come back and get a big score, and they give up a big score that following possession, but they are staying steady, holding steadfast.
Of course, Michael Bazemore, you played for Haran O'Neill. What's your recollection? What stands out about your years playing for Haran?
Coach O'Neill is a great coach. He's a player's coach, but he definitely does not shy from being very demanding of his players. He gets players that are very highly talented, highly skilled. He does a great job of putting them in the best position to be successful. And then, as the great coaches do, they get out of their players' way, their assistant coaches' way, and let them develop and obviously make great plays, when the time comes.
Now that ball went out of bounds underneath the uprights.
Ball was kicked underneath the net and out of bounds. By rule, the ball will be placed on the 10-yard line. First down, Billings.
So the ball, as you heard referee Aaron Claunch say, the ball will be spotted at the 10-yard line. And so the Liberty get their hands on it for the first time here in the second quarter. Let's see what offensive coordinator Shedrick Bonner has in mind. Of course, Shedrick with outstanding Indoor Football League credits as well. We are so lucky to have him. 15 years he played in the AFL. Here's the give to Swoboda around the left end, across the 10 for a gain of like 3 yards. Tackle made it by Justin Foster. Foster out of Samford University.
I believe that's the 3rd run of the contest, if I'm not mistaken.
You kind of have to keep the run in play just to keep people honest, but obviously it's a passing league.
Oh yeah, yep, passing league. And I believe the outdoor game has taken some things from the indoor game as it's become more spread, more fast-paced, and a lot of passing.
Anderson split out here to the near side, and now going in motion is Dwayne Brown as he comes up towards the line of scrimmage. Isaac Harker drops back, looking for and finding Karance Higgins. Good for a first down into Liberty territory down to the 23-yard line. Higgins shows his ability to get open, 6'1", 190. Here's the replay. Let's see how made a nice move. Dontre Matthews.
It looked like Matthews got caught looking in the backfield and lost track.
D-Tray, they call him.
Lost track of Brown, and he made a great play on the ball. Great catch.
Swoboda in the backfield behind Isaac Harker now. And here goes Dwayne Brown in motion again. And the pitch goes to Swoboda across the 20, still on his feet. Into the boards, down near the 16-yard line, maybe over the 15. He's a big drink of water. Hunter Swoboda, 6'4", 255.
And you can see how he runs. Sometimes when you have someone at that size, they still run small. But judging by the past 2 runs, this possession looks like Swoboda is bringing all of that weight and that height with him.
Hunter Swoboda did his college football at Ouachita Baptist down in the state of Arkansas. He plays defensive end, defensive back, and fullback. They call it the plug. You can see why. He's hard to bring down. So here it is, 2nd and just 2, maybe 3 yards. Here's the pass, and it's complete. Good for a first down into the boards. Dwayne Brown.
And at some point, we've seen the Liberty and the Outlaws run a couple screen passes. At some point in the 3rd or 4th quarter, we're going to see a fake screen and try to go over the top.
That brings up 1st and goal for the Outlaws. This ball game is all tied up, 14 apiece. The clock runs down towards halftime with 10:05 left. Jay Cohn along with Michael Bazemore on the mics. Hope you're enjoying this coverage of this key Arena Football League game here on this Saturday night in Billings. Harker with the fake handoff. Now he's going to try to run it. Now he throws it the last second. Intended for Swoboda, but he had to get rid of that ball because coming up quickly was Kerry Starks from his linebacker slot.
Yeah, great defensive call by Coach O'Neill as it was zone coverage, and they tried to do a bit of a fake toss that they've gained some great yardage on a couple tosses this possession, and they tried to bring a drag underneath for a fake toss.
So we've got a penalty now against the Outlaws, so that'll back up Billings back to their 16-yard line. So they'll have a redo on first down, but much different field position. I think the fans are still filing in here to the Rimrock Auto Arena. Such a nice Saturday afternoon, and we've had hit and miss weather, so it gets nice out. People are out enjoying it. All right, here goes Brown in motion again. Harker back to pass. Get some pressure, and he's going to go down. Sack. Credit Henry Kellogg, 6'3", 250. Harker just couldn't find this man, and there wasn't any time.
Yeah, we call those coverage sacks, as obviously in arena football, the game is designed to have quick throws, and when you have good coverage by your defensive backs, it allows time for the defense to get there. The defensive line to get there.
So after getting a first down at the 5-yard line, the Outlaws had a penalty and now a sack. And now they're backed up all the way to their own 23-yard line. They've lost a good 20 yards since picking up that 1st and goal. So it's 2nd and goal here from the 23. There goes Anderson in motion. And the pass to Anderson, in and out of his hands as he hit the boards and flips over. Watch, gotta be heads up there along the board. You'll end up wearing a football and maybe a football player at the same time.
Yes, and that's one of those dynamics where it's exciting as some guys go over the boards, but also can be very costly as there can be some injuries. And I've seen some injuries with players going across the boards, and it's one of the elements of the game. But you see some great sportsmanship there from Matthews, from the Liberty. Making sure
there is some concern
that Brown is okay.
First media timeout of the quarter.
It's not Brown that is down.
I believe it's somebody that was in the suite there.
Oh, one of our fans.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure that they're okay. They're being checked on by
D-Tray over there making sure everything's okay, but with a timeout on the field due to this injury on the sidelines. Let's take a break. You're watching Billings Outlaws football. It's all tied up here in the second quarter, 14-0.
Hi, I'm Mitch with Donahue Roofing and Siding here in Billings, Montana. Whether you have storm damage and you need a professional to help you with your insurance claim, or you just want to spruce up the outside of your home with a new look, call the professionals at Donahue Roofing and Siding today, and we will be happy to come and help you with your project. We have the expertise to help you make the decisions on which siding and roofing is right for your project and your budget. Call us today.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Back to the live action. Harker throwing it deep for the Outlaws. Ball is loose in the end zone. And was it picked? It was. Dwayne Brown comes up with it.
The referee calls an incomplete
Is that right?
Yes.
But there's a flag down as well. Let's see what the call is.
It looked like that was great concentration by Brown, but the official said it was incomplete. But maybe we had a pass interference here.
Pass interference. Yeah. Number 11 on the defense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Okay, the automatic first down on the pass interference call. Either way, that was going to be a great catch by Dwayne Brown. What concentration, as you said, Mike, because that ball was up for grabs after they went off their hands. Let's another look at it here on the replay.
Yeah, it seemed like when there was a bit of a, tug-of-war match between Brown and Matthews, I was kind of in my head thinking like, that seems like that's going to be a penalty here, and they got the call right. And we're still in the goal line situation now. It's first and goal. We started out at first and goal, went back.
That's kind of a mismatch.
Third and goal at the 20.
Matthews is 6'3", Brown's only 5'11", but he's quick. All right, so it brings up a second down now, or actually on the incomplete pass, it's a first down. And the clock is now running again. We're ticking down towards halftime. It's been back and forth here in the early going between these two undefeated squads. We're all tied up 14 apiece. Here's quarterback Isaac Harker, and he gives it in the backfield to Karantz Higgins, but that's going nowhere as Higgins' helmet comes off. Good defense that time by the Liberty.
Yeah, Justin Foster. That was a great tackle by the defensive end.
Higgins trying to get that helmet on a little bit more securely because he got hit and that helmet came off right as he went down to the turf. And I was down on this turf, has just a little bit of padding. There's not much padding down there.
Not at all, like most turfs.
Right, exactly. All right, so here's second and goal now. Well, it looks like maybe they can get a. Here's the pass. It's complete. Higgins again. Did he get down right short of the goal line at about the 3-yard line? So that'll bring up third down. This has been an interesting possession by the Outlaws as they had it down to the 3 after their first play, then a couple of infractions against Billings, backed them all the way up to the 23, and then pass interference got him in business again, and then that completion to Higgins. It's right at the 4. I said the 3, it's at the 4-yard line.
3rd and 1. So the Outlaws are ahead of the chains.
All right, what's the call here? Let's see what Shedrick Bonner has in mind. Swoboda's in the backfield, right behind Harker.
I would give it to Swoboda.
And they will give it to Swoboda, and it looks like he will get that first down from the angle here, but let's hold it till we get the official call.
Yeah, keep it simple. Move the chains. Let's create a 1st and goal, and you have 4 downs to punch it in.
It is a first down as referee Aaron Clunch makes the call. So now the Outlaws have had several opportunities, shot themselves in the foot a couple of times, but now the ball is at the 2-yard line as Harker gets the play from offensive coordinator Bonner, and into the huddle he goes. Again, it'll be Swoboda in the backfield. Hunter Swoboda, number 17, Harker, your quarterback. In motion, there's Higgins. The pass to the big man, Terrence Ames Jr. He's got the touchdown.
Great play design. Motion to a fake lead with the big man sneaking out for a touchdown. I like my big man get into the end zone.
Absolutely. Here's the replay. Nice catch. As he went down, hauls it in. Terrence Ames Jr. out of Virginia Union, 6'1", 318. Wonder how many touchdowns he has to his credit in his career, Michael. So here is Bailey Giffen to split the uprights and try to give the Outlaws a 7-point lead, and he does. 3 for 3 in the point after department is kicker Bailey Giffen.
Yes, perfect situation to call that play. I like it. I like what Coach Browner's doing.
And how about the hands on big Terrence Ames Jr.? A lot of times that's why they're playing the line. They don't have the greatest hands, but he showed he can haul it in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the traditional mindset is now they're calling them, big skill. So you have skill who are the receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, defensive backs. Middle skill is your linebackers, tight ends. And now big skill, offensive line, defensive line, because the kind of athletes that you get in today's game, no matter what level, they can do multiple things.
Big skills. I got to write that down. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. So the Outlaws take the lead, 21-14 on the pass from Harker to Ames. Terrence Ames Jr. That was a 2-yard touchdown pass. And that gives the Outlaws a 21-14 lead. So Giffen will be kicking off from his own goal line, and back deep is Otis Odom. Also number 2, Tracy Brooks back there. Let's see what happens. I know Bailey will be trying to put this through the uprights. Here's the kick. It's an onside kick. This is loose. It's up for grabs. The Outlaws say they have it. Oh, how about that? A little trickery.
Isaac McFarland with the recovery. That is a great, caught the Liberty kind of asleep and snuck in an onside kick under that. A great aggressive play, as if they don't get it, then you give up great field position for Salina, but
you got to have the ball just bounce your way.
Yeah, took a gamble and they got it.
It's Isaiah McFarland, plays wide receiver, also one of the new additions to the Outlaws roster this week, out of Ellenwood, Georgia, as I mentioned before. So, the little trickery, the Outlaws take the lead, and now they take possession of the ball. 3:34 and counting here as we tick it down towards halftime. Isaac Harker, your quarterback. Swoboda in the backfield. Harker drops back, finds his man, Arthur Anderson, and he's out to the 23-yard line, just short of the first down yardage. Anderson out of Concordia in Nebraska, 6'1", 190, 25 years old. I mentioned the young age of these Outlaws, with the average age just over 25 years old. We do have our backup quarterback, Daniel Southwick, who is 42 years old.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen him in, but I can hardly wait for that because I think he's like having another coach on the field.
Absolutely. He has me by a year, and so, yes, big ups to him for still playing.
Another quick pass across the middle. Parker finds his man. That's Derek Harvey. And that's good for a first down for Billings.
And this is a pivotal possession. If the Outlaws can score here either by field goal or a touchdown, and then now they're up 2 possessions. And so, really put the Liberty behind the 8 ball here in terms of just matching scores.
Exactly, especially with the clock running for most of the half, just continually running. Those possessions are everything, and you get a couple of possessions behind, and that can really add up. So as the clock runs down towards 2 minutes left here in the half, there goes Dwayne Brown in motion. The give is to Swoboda. He has some running room across the 15 down to the 13, now the 12-yard line.
Yes, the Outlaws are doing a great job executing that toss play to Swoboda, still in their blocks and creating some running lanes for the big man to get in there and do some damage.
Hunter Swoboda out of Ouachita Baptist College, 6'4", as he is tall, 6'4", 255. And he can run downhill with the best of them.
He's the same size as the kicker for Salina.
And the pitch to Swoboda, cuts it back across the 10, down around the 8-yard line. And that'll be good for another first down. The clock continues to run now as we tick it down towards halftime. Almost just a minute to go. And it is first and goal. The clock will stop now with 1 minute to go.
Timeout. Media.
Media timeout. That means we'll take a quick break. As we step aside, Billings threatening again. They lead at 21-14. They're knocking on the door. Don't go away. We'll see what happens in the final minute of the half.
Hi, I'm Mitch with Donahue Roofing and Siding here in Billings, Montana. Whether you have storm damage and you need a professional to help you with your insurance claim, or you just want to spruce up the outside of your home with a new look, call the professionals at Donahue Roofing and Siding today, and we will be happy to come and help you with your project. We have the expertise to help you make the decisions on which siding and roofing is right for your project and your budget. Call us today.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
A very entertaining first half. We're down with a minute to go till halftime. You see the score at the bottom of your screen. Billings leading Liberty, the Salina Liberty, 21-14. And Billings with the ball inside the 10-yard line. Michael, this is very important possession here as Billings rolled the dice and got that onside kick. But now they've marched right down the field to put themselves in scoring position.
Absolutely. Oh, we have a
penalty flag.
Offside penalty for the Liberty. Yeah, as I was saying during the break, great aggressive call by Coach Walker, and you want to stay aggressive and make sure that you keep the Liberty behind the 8 ball in terms of matching your possessions and scores.
Stays first down.
So we just picked up, the Outlaws did 5 yards without the clock moving at all. Clock management is so important here in the indoor football game where the clock runs for all but the last minute of the half. And Billings would like nothing better than to punch this in and see if the Liberty can get off the dime. This would put the Outlaws up 2 scores. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First and goal now. They give to Swoboda, the big man, down near the 1 yard line. Tackle made by Aaron Jenkins, 6'3", 208 linebacker. Jenkins is out of Chicago, Illinois. Kansas Wesleyan is where he played his football in college, along with Merced College. Just love to see where these players come from. They're from all over the country.
Absolutely. The talent is out there. It is up for the coaches to identify that talent and bring it together. That was a bit of a counter for Swoboda, and I think he feels like he's getting itchy. He's had some good runs and some breakthrough runs. Now he wants to pay dirt.
Billings is letting the clock run down now, as you see Cedric Walker looking out. He's going to call a timeout. 15 seconds to go. They don't want to give the Liberty any time left, depending on how this ends up here at the end of the half. But kind of a chess match between these two coaches, Coach Walker and Coach O'Neill.
Yeah, and I understand that part of the decision, but I don't know, 15 seconds, that can go very fast. So I can see if he caught a timeout with more time on the clock, but everyone has their strategy, and until it's proven wrong, they're right.
Just looking at my notes here, how many timeouts each team has. 3 timeouts per half each team has, and I'm not sure if Billings must have at least one more. So with the ball at the 2 yard line, just 15 seconds, that's another roll of the dice. You want to make sure the other team doesn't have a chance to score, but you don't want to shortchange yourself. We'll see if it pays off for Coach Walker. Shedrick Bonner, the offensive coordinator, has his call in to quarterback Isaac Harker. Harker had a good game so far, 1 interception with a couple of touchdown passes. Here's Swoboda. Can he punch it across? He can! With 11 seconds to go, Hunter Swoboda into the end zone for Billings.
And that's a good effort by Swoboda. And it was one of those situations where the ball was, it's kind of 50-50. They still have enough time to run in and call another timeout before you have to pass. And so kept the defense honest and created a running lane, and Swoboda punched it in with some great push by the offensive line.
Yeah, big number 67, Peyton Uho out of Northern Michigan. Uyo. But Swoboda at 6'4" could almost just fall over from the 2 yard line and get it across the end zone stripe. Here's the kick now for Giffen. Can he split the uprights? He does. He's perfect in the extra point department. 4 for 4 here in the first half. And officials quickly run in and try to separate the players. The extra point was good. That gives the Outlaws a 14-point lead, 28-14, with just 11 seconds here till halftime, as Hunter Swoboda runs it in on a 2 yard run following that onside kick. So a roll of the dice by head coach Cedric Walker, and it pays off for Billings.
Big time, big time. Now they're up by 2 possessions. And so now that could potentially alter the play calling for the Liberty.
Well, both teams came in knowing that this is probably the toughest competition they will have faced up till now. I say that because for Billings, we've played Wichita and the Washington Wolfpack, and neither of those teams were up to the challenge of Billings. Now, Salina, I'm not sure because we haven't seen the Nashville Cats or Southwest Kansas yet, but it appears that Salina had the upper hand on those, especially winning on the road against Nashville. So we'll see. Here comes the Outlaws now as Giffen will kick it off from the goal line. And back deep is Otis Odom again. In front of him is Tracy Brooks. So Giffen is going to be trying to split the uprights and give the Outlaws 2 more points with a deuce. Let's see how he does. The kick is up. It's going to go off the netting. Odom has it in the goal line, in the end zone. Oh, and he retreats and goes back in the end zone. Is it a safety? No, they're going to give him forward progress out across the goal line, but that was a questionable decision to backtrack.
Yeah, he should have just stayed on his initial course and try to get as many yards as possible. And so when he reversed fields, that's when he got into some trouble, and it was almost a safety, but I believe a good call by the officials.
Absolutely,
and it was at the 1 yard line. So.
Forward progress out there, but now Billings, you got to make sure that they don't get burned by a really long pass, but then another chance, they could sack McCullum in the end zone here with just 7 seconds to go. The Liberty down by 14, trailing 28-14.
Yeah, I would definitely run some type of zone coverage here, either 3 or 2. Keep everything in front of you, rally and make a tackle.
McFarland and Thomas back deep, along with some help from Hemphill Toledo. Here's a quick pass along the boards. It's complete to Brooks. Out to around the 7 yard line, just 3 seconds left in the half.
Have a late flag on the play.
Oh yeah, the flag is in the end zone. They'll sort it out. Here's referee Aaron Clonch going to tell us what the infraction's about.
After the play, personal foul.
It's against the Outlaws, personal foul.
Number 8 on Billings, 10 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Well, that gives the Liberty new life here at the end of the half, as the personal foul against Billings will give the Liberty the ball out to the 17 yard line.
And I think they play the same coverage, cover 3, keep everything in front of you, rally and make a tackle. This is one where you play disciplined defense, do not try to be a hero. Take it to halftime with a 2-possession lead.
All right, let's see what Teron O'Neill and the Salina Liberty have in mind here. Well, they're going to call a timeout. Billings will call the timeout.
Timeout. Billings, their second of the half.
Was watching the coaches show with Teron O'Neill from Salina this week. He was talking about how one of the toughest things is he's given up the play calling, and he's learning to trust his staff. That's always hard when you've been calling the plays and pretty much in charge of everything. Sometimes you need to step away, but he admitted it's been a tough thing for him.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're so used to being in the thick of it, and that's kind of what you want to do. If you came up on play calling and designing plays, you want to be in the thick of it, but at the same time, from a developmental standpoint, you want to bring up some other coaches, allow them to grow, so you have to step back and let them grow into their own and trust their process as well.
Carlos Cavanaugh is the offensive coordinator. Coach Carlos, they call him, down there in Salina. Ron O'Neill has given him the ultimate trust. Well, here it is. What likely would be the last play of the half. McCullum back deep, is going to scramble now, get some pressure. The ball is up for grabs in the end zone, and it's intercepted by the Outlaws, and they can run this back. Here he goes. This is Hemphill Toledo down to the 11-yard line. He gets a big hit there. Smashed his helmet against one of the players' knees, but Hemphill Toledo returned that after the interception all the way back, about 40 yards.
And I got very nervous when D. Wash went up because he's 6'5",
right.
Has a clear height advantage. But that's a great play by Hemphill Toledo.
That's
he jumped up and he matched the height of D. Wash, snatched the ball, and a great return, almost took it home.
That was a great ending play there by the Liberties. They tried to go deep to catch the Billings Outlaws sleeping, but Hemphill Toledo was up to the task. So we're at halftime. It's the Billings Outlaws leading the Salina Liberty 28-14. We'll come back with some interviews and some halftime first half highlights for you. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Putting new roofing or siding on your home is not just about slapping on shingles. It's an engineered system. Hi, I'm Mitch Donahue, and this is my son Dylan.
We're proud to be local experienced contractors using the best materials around. We don't just meet code requirements, we exceed them.
Your new project is an investment. With Donahue Roofing and Siding, you can put your money into your home where it belongs.
Why not use the best? Call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Oh, hey there. Are you drinking out of a regular cup? Why, when you can have a loud cup?
You can be loud and then have a sip.
It's not loud in here, so where's my cup?
Go out loud!
Yeah!
Let's go!
Welcome back inside the Rimrock Auto Arena at TDS Fiber Field. The Arena Football League is underway here this evening, and it's the Billings Outlaws leading the Salina Liberty 28-14. Jay Cohn along with Michael Bazemore. Michael, that was quite a first half we saw, and a big turning point near the end of the half where Billings went for the onside kick and got it back and scored to go up by 2 scores.
Yeah, absolutely. The Outlaws are playing just better football. You know, they are more disciplined. They have less penalties, from what I can tell, and then they're executing as well. And you got to be careful because it's 2 halves, and so you're facing a Hall of Fame coach, and I can attest to how good Coach O'Neill is, and I think he'll make those adjustments, and, you know, we'll have a good, exciting second half.
Absolutely. There are 2 halves, and we're excited to bring in the second half. Let's look back at some of the first half highlights, if you will, and there were plenty of them right from the opening gun. Right off the Billings Outlaws. Here is Isaac Harker, the quarterback. Throws an interception that was picked off by Freddie McGee, and he returned it across the midfield stripe, but then McCullum couldn't handle the snap. Billings gets it, bounced in the end zone, was recovered for a touchdown. Here's McCullum going right back and finding Tracy Brooks, and look at him off to the races, goes all the way to the goal line and dives across the goal line for the score, and that tied it up 7-all in the early going. But Isaac Harker made up for that interception. He found Carrance Higgins for about a 40-yard touchdown pass. That put Billings up 14-0. And guess what? The Liberty weren't done yet. That's Demario Washington hauling in a touchdown pass. Demario Washington's been their favorite. That was a 20-yard touchdown pass. Here was a play earlier in the second quarter that injured one of the fans in the booth, and maybe the favorite play was Harker to the big man, to Terrence Ames Jr. And here's that onside kick we were talking. It kind of changed the momentum for sure as Billings rolls the dice, gets the onside kick, and then Hunter Swoboda runs it in after a couple of penalties, moved the ball inside the 2-yard line, and that's where we stand at halftime. Our kicker, Bailey Giffen, is 4 for 4 in the point after department. Charles McCullum, this is the last play of the half. Nearly, Demario Washington looked like he had the advantage, but look what I found. Omar Hemphill Toledo intercepts it and returned it all the way to the 10, but he was tackled before he could get into the end zone. Wild and woolly first half is at the end of the first quarter was 14-7 Billings, and now those 2 unanswered scores at the end of the second quarter gives Billings a 14-point lead, 28-14 here at halftime. Both teams undefeated coming into this. We'll take another break, and when we come back, I believe Stephen Titus with the Billings Outlaws is going to join us for an interview. So we'll talk all things Arena Football League. When we come back, you're watching Outlaws football from Rimrock Auto Arena here in Billings, Montana.
Putting new roofing or siding on your home is not just about slapping on shingles. It's an engineered system. Hi, I'm Mitch Donahue, and this is my son Dylan.
We're proud to be local experienced contractors using the best materials around. We don't just meet code requirements, we exceed them.
Your new project is an investment. With Donahue Roofing and Siding, you can put your money into your home where it belongs.
Why not use the best? Call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Oh, hey there. Are you drinking out of a regular cup? Why, when you can have a loud cup?
You can be loud and then have a sip.
It's not loud in here, so where's my cup?
Go out loud!
Yeah!
Let's go!
Welcome back. We're inside Rimrock Auto Arena here in Billings, Montana. Jay Cohn. I'm joined now by the owner of the Billings Outlaws, Stephen Titus. I asked you earlier, Stephen, how's it going? You said it was a pretty crazy week, but all the weeks so far in the Arena Football League this year have been crazy. Give us an assessment. Some of the fans are up to date, but we have a new commissioner, Jeff Fisher,
yes,
of NFL fame, the Tennessee Titans, and played some football for the Chicago Bears. He's the new interim commissioner, and a lot of hope that he can get things settled down and we can get through this inaugural season of the reboot and live to tell about it.
Jay, if you could see one thing different between our home field between this week and 2 weeks ago, we're proudly displaying the AFL logo
I noticed that,
tonight.
yes.
That's our stamp of approval of the direction of the AFL's going since Monday when we voted Jeff Fisher as our new commissioner. You know, Jeff's, as you know, is the president of operations for the Nashville Cats, another AFL team, and he's down. They were playing Wichita earlier this afternoon, and we had some questions for him on some rule interpretations and how we're going to do certain things for the game. Jeff answers the phone right away. Steve, what's going on? I mean, it's just he's available, he cares, he wants a good product on and off the field, and he wants to move the league forward. Without a doubt, Jeff Fisher was the right person with his experience, his knowledge, his know-how to correct the wrongs of our previous AFL administration and to move this organization moving forward. So Jeff Fisher absolutely unconditionally has my stamp of approval to change the things that need to be changed to move the Billings Outlaws and the AFL forward going on.
Well, the AFL at this point is definitely a work in progress. We started with 16 teams. We're down to 10, maybe 10. We're going to ask our fans for a little patience, to be flexible. This season is going to continue. We're going to have the season schedule as we've had. The opponents might be different. That's already happened a couple of times.
Right.
But this game is certainly living up to its pregame billing.
We knew going into this was going to be a great game. Salina is always a great game. You know, I've been to Salina 3 times, and let me just give a bit of credit to the Salina Liberty Ownership Group. Dan Mendocino, Tom Lopez, Roy Lawrence, Jimmy Sponder, one of my best friends, Dan Keyboards, great people in Salina there. And we always play Salina hard. I mean, we got robbed out of a victory last year in Salina when the instant replay went down.
I recall, yes, most fans will recall that.
Our replay's working tonight. But anyway, it's always a great game with Salina, regardless who has the better team or not. For whatever reason, Billings and Salina ends up being some kind of hype. I can't explain why, but it's always become a great rivalry between us and Salina. And there's no doubt this may be a 2-possession game right now, but I can tell you when that clock rings in 30 more playing minutes, I think it's going to be a lot closer than it is now. Obviously, I hope it's a lot higher, but Coach O'Neill's, this ain't her first rodeo.
Well, fans here in Billings and across the league have to be thanking our kudos that you have stepped in and you've committed to these players and to this coach. And regardless of what's happening elsewhere in the league, you say, we're in it for the long haul.
Absolutely.
We have a championship caliber team here. That's what the focus is on. The players, I know the coach, are just concentrating on getting ready, the preparation, playing the game, winning the game. The rest of the stuff hopefully will take care of itself. Maybe not as quickly as everybody wants, but, you know, Rome wasn't invented in a day.
You know, JR, I think when we decided what our priorities were earlier this week, the first one was make sure we have our games as scheduled, no drama, we get results, everyone shows up. It was baby steps. that all seems to be accomplished here this week with games with Orlando and West Texas on Thursday. You know, we had Nashville and Wichita earlier. Washington and Oregon was just finished up, I think. We have us today. You know, everything's going according to plan. So I'm glad to see this. I think Albany and Dodge City play tomorrow. So everything's working exactly like it should. And you know, we're going to be in Dodge City next week playing, and we're going to be back at home, or no, we're in West Texas the week after that. And then we start a 3-game home stretch. So that none of our schedules change. And like you said, the opponents may change, but that's going to be everyone for the league. Things may get shuffled around a little bit, but there's going to be an AFL championship in July, and we're doing everything possible to make sure we're holding that trophy in mid to late July.
So moving forward, what are the big questions for you right now as the owner? Because you've got a lot at stake here, but you put the stamp of approval with the AFL logo in the middle of the field. But what's the priority number one for you right now?
Making sure that we have opponents every week, that they show up, that we play, we win, my players are taken care of, they get their checks clear, they get 3 meals a day, the housing, making sure that we have a quality organization, that they want to be here, and I think that we have that here. We have a great team this year, and you know, everyone shrugs off, you know, small town Billings, Montana compared to, you know, a Nashville or an Orlando or even a New York, Albany. But Billings Outlaws are putting themselves quickly on the map as a contender for a championship. Cedric Walker and Shredrick Bonner, my head coach and my assistant head coach, and you know, Mania Smith and Chris Turner, they're, in my mind, they're the best coaching staff in the league. And so absolutely, Billings is going to be a contender from now until the end of July. Without a doubt, we're going to do everything to make sure everything works this year and that we continue to be in contention for years moving forward. But right now, my stamp of approval is on the AFL and moving forward with the AFL. I can tell you walking around this arena and watching the fans, there's one thing different between this year and last year. Obviously, we have a winning team this year so far, but these rebound nets, everyone loves these rebound nets.
Great?
They just added certain dynamic that we didn't have when we were in indoor football. So this is a great product we're going to have on and off the field. And, you know, if you're a Billings Outlaws fan and you're watching from home, get to the games. You know, get into the game. You know, sitting at home isn't paying the bills. We need you here. We need you loud. That's not adding to the atmosphere. We want Billings Outlaws to stay. We need this crowd filled. We need our players to have that enthusiasm to want to win. And we're going to do everything we can to keep the Billings Outlaws here in Billings and to continue winning and do what we need to do to win a championship.
What a difference a week makes. Last week, the forfeit after the team went all the way to Rapid City, you had to be, that might have been the lows of the lows.
That was rock bottom.
Yeah, rock bottom. Well, we've come back up by 14 over Salina with a great game, very competitive. Good luck, Stephen.
Thanks,
We're
Jay.
lucky to have you here,
Jay,
and we appreciate it.
We're going to try to do everything we can to get Commissioner Fisher here in a few weeks to come talk to you.
Well, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. I look forward to it.
Great.
Stephen Titus, owner of the Billings Outlaws. 28-14, we're at halftime. Billings over Salina so far. We'll see what the second half has in store right after this.
Putting new roofing or siding on your home is not just about slapping on shingles. It's an engineered system. Hi, I'm Mitch Donahue, and this is my son Dylan.
We're proud to be local experienced contractors using the best materials around. We don't just meet code requirements, we exceed them.
Your new project is an investment. With Donahue Roofing and Siding, you can put your money into your home where it belongs.
Why not use the best? Call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
In a world where only the strong survive, one team stands above the rest. The Billings Outlaws. Get ready for the ultimate showdown where the gridiron turns into a battlefield. Are you ready to witness raw power, unrelenting spirit, and the true heart of champions? Join the Outlaws Nation and be part of the revolution. Don't just watch history being made. Be a part of it. Billings Outlaws. Defying the odds. Rewriting the game. Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
I think the Outlaws maybe.
And we are back inside Rimrock Auto Arena here in Billings, Montana, where the hometown Billings Outlaws lead the visiting Salina Liberty 28-14. But we all know there's another half to go, and Haran O'Neal didn't get in the AFL Hall of Fame on his first ballot for nothing. We know that Haran O'Neill and company will have some adjustments and or have made some adjustments. Michael Bazemore adding our color commentary for us in this game. We're excited to have you along, Michael. What's Haran O'Neill telling his charges right now?
Just stay the course, stay disciplined. You know, I don't think it's time to completely divert from their game plan. Some slight tweaks here and there, but the game is definitely still in reach. 2 possessions can be made up very quickly in arena football, but there is a bit of a heightened pressure on execution. So execution, being disciplined, they've had a number of penalties in the first half, and they got to cut some of those things down to get back into this game.
You see big number 95 there for the Liberty. Kyle Lester, 6'5", 335. He's out of Ole Miss. He's out of Detroit, Michigan, though, and today here in Billings, Montana with the Salina Liberty. Bailey, the boot, Giffen going to kick off from the Billings goal line, so it will be Salina with the first opportunity here in the second half. There was Coach Cedric Walker looking on. He has to be pleased, but knows there can be no let up. Giffen kicks it deep, looking for that deuce. Will it go through? Underneath and out of bounds.
The kick went underneath the goalpost. By rule, the ball will be placed on the 10-yard line. First down.
10-yard line. He came up just a little short on that. You know, I was asking the kicker for the Liberty, Shane McInerney, if the ball flies more here at the altitude in Montana. He's used to kicking for Arizona, and he said, yeah, like 2 or 3 yards further in this altitude, so it can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's interesting. You definitely hear those assertions in terms of playing in different altitudes, and I'm not a kicker, so I have to take his word for it.
I'll take his word for it. He seems to know what he's doing. Told me his goal is to get to the NFL someday, and he thinks that could happen soon. All right, here's McCullum, the quarterback for the Liberty. Throws across the middle and out, and it's complete across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Eddie Smith Jr. with the catch. Smith out of Fort Hays State, native of Coconut Grove, Florida. Long ways from home.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It says Salina, Kansas. Salina, Kansas.
Well, let's see if Chuck McCullum and the offense for the Liberty come up with a couple new wrinkles. They find themselves trailing by 14. The clock just underway here in your third quarter.
And one thing about McCullum, he's always poised. He's always a cool customer, so doesn't seem to get rattled easily.
And the pass is complete. Hauling it in is Demario Washington. And in on the defense for Billings, that's Arthur Anderson. Or excuse me, Cedric Thomas, but Washington had the advantage in the height. And it looks like he got called for, Thomas got called for pass interference.
Yeah, as you see, it was great position, decent position by Thomas, but obviously the advantage goes to Washington as he just walled them off. Bit of a box-out situation, and that's where your height is a huge advantage as a receiver.
First and goal now for the Liberty at the 6-yard line. Let's see if Billings can come up with a stop. McCullum has big Pika Leota in the backfield to his right. Now in motion goes Tracy Brooks. Brooks will get it on the handoff, and he stopped short of the goal line down to the 3. Tackle made there by Isaiah McFarland.
Yeah, definitely good play design. Bring the motion man through and have an off-tackle run. Try to sneak one in on the defense.
I see Haran O'Neill up talking to the quarterback, so maybe he is calling the plays, but I'm pretty sure he mentioned on the coach's show that Carlos Cavanaugh has that responsibility. So here we go. Salina with the ball at the 3-yard line. Second and goal. McCullum will put Brooks in motion. Looks in, finds a pass interference or a penalty call from the end zone. The Outlaws step up and stop Smith. That's Edward Smith Jr., number 3. Hauled it in, but let's see what the penalty is about in the end zone, likely against Billings.
Shift on the offense.
Oh, an illegal
3,
shift.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
I'm going to quit guessing. An illegal shift will back up the Liberty. Back them up to the 8-yard line. Still keeps the ball second down.
Yeah, Fast Eddie has to put his foot on the pedal and go. It was a bit too shifty for a screen. You got to have 1 or 2 moves, and you got to get upfield. The more you dance, the more time you give for the defense to rally to the ball.
Those little stutter steps, those hesitation stutter steps, not going to make you much yardage. So here's McCullum, and now in motion goes D-Wash. McCullum surveys the field, happy feet, finds his man, incomplete, in and out of the hands. Tracy Brooks had it for a second. Well, let's give credit to Cedric Thomas who knocked it out of there.
Yeah, I thought it was for sure a touchdown, but great play by Thomas. He got the ball out by any means necessary.
So that'll bring up third down. Fans here enjoying themselves inside the Rimrock Auto Arena, TDS Fiber Field. If you're just joining us, it's been back and forth. Billings led after the first quarter 14-7 and led at halftime 28-14. And this is the first possession of the second half with the Liberty knocking on the door of the ball, resting at the 8-yard line. Clock ticking down, 11:15 left here in the third. In motion goes Demarius Washington. McCullum back, has plenty of time. That pass incomplete, intended for Edward Smith Jr., but it came up a little short.
Seems like McCullum was asking for Smith Jr. to extend his route more. He was expecting him to be in a different area.
So here comes a big opportunity here for Billings, big opportunity for Salina. Brings up fourth down, ball at the 8-yard line. Well, Salina moved right down inside the 5-yard line with one play, and now they've gone backwards. In the last couple plays, they've been stymied. Demarius Washington in the backfield. He'll likely go in motion. McCullum with Pika Leota blocking for him on the right. There goes Washington in motion. Across the middle, quick opener. The pass is intercepted by Billings. And that's Derek Harvey with the interception, loose across the 25. He's gonna score. Breaks the tackle at the 15-yard line. Big number 55 came up empty. Kelvin McCoy had the last shot at him. What a play by Derek Harvey. A pick six.
Costly mistake by McCullum. He tried to force it into his main option, and underneath was number 13, Derek Harvey. And that's when you turn a great play to a game almost sealing play, and you punch it in for 6. Great job.
Derek Harvey stepped in front of that would-be touchdown pass and returned it from the goal line all the way to the opposite end zone for the score. A pick six puts Billings up 34-14, and here's Bailey Giffen to try the extra point. And it's through the uprights. Perfect 5 for 5. It's a battle of the kickers tonight, but right now it's the Billings Outlaws defense has 2 touchdowns to their credit, and they lead at 35-14 here.
And the boot is living up to his nickname.
Absolutely. Cedric Walker is fired up.
Oh yes, a lot of passion, and that's the beauty of coaching. As they say, if you cannot do it no longer, you coach, and you got to try to obviously inspire your team and bring that passion. You know, let them live vicariously through you, and vice versa.
You can see the Billings Outlaws dancers entertaining the crowd, and this is awesome family entertainment. If you've not had a chance to come down and watch the Outlaws, there's something going on, not just on the field, but off the field. They're giving away free stuff. Lots of Outlaws gear you can afford yourself to, and right now it's the Outlaws enjoying a 35-14 lead over the visiting Salina Liberty. So maybe shock time for Coach Haran O'Neill and the Liberty as they discuss it. Well, the good news is they're going to get the ball back right away.
Yeah.
The Billings offense will sit on the sidelines, but the good news for Billings is their defense came up with a huge stop as it looked like the Liberty were about to score. Derek Harvey stepped in front of that pass, returned it 50 yards for the pick six.
Yeah, absolutely. And now this is where you definitely have to scrap some of that game plan, and you have to make sure you get some quick scores, because now the time becomes another element that you got to battle.
3 scores difference now between the Liberty and the hometown Outlaws. Bailey Giffen, our kicker has had a heck of a night, 5 for 5 in the PAT department. He's a native of Bryan, Texas. Played his college ball at Lamar. 5'9", 185. He's just 25 years old. But he has a whale of a leg on him. And as I mentioned earlier in the first half, one of the interviews I read with Giffen says this is the most fun he's had playing football. So good for him. We're happy to have him here in Billings. Clock at 9:24. Here's Giffen's kickoff, sailing into the nets. It's hauled in there by Otis Odeman. Across the goal line he comes. Off to the races, still on his feet, breaks a tackle across the 15, and down he goes, tackled by the kicker, Bailey Giffen.
The boot getting in on some action with tackling.
I'll tell you that Odom has some quickness.
Yes.
He crossed the goal line. I looked up, he was already up to the 15-yard line. Here it is on the replay. You can see him zipping right along.
He goes from 0 to 100 real fast, and great job by the boot. Great form tackle. Looks like he's been in on some tackling drills once upon a time in his football career, and stopped the touchdown because there was nothing but space and opportunity.
Absolutely. So Salina has the ball, 1st and 10 at their 17-yard line. In motion comes Smith. McCullum back, getting some pressure. He's throwing it deep now and overthrows everybody, and a penalty flag will fly in the end zone as the jostling between Demarius Washington and Cedric Thomas, and I believe that one's going to go against Thomas.
Yeah, so the Outlaws have a mismatch, and so
Pass
it's
interference
for
on
Coach
the
Walker
defense,
to
number
just
4,
be
10-yard
disciplined,
penalty from the
give some
previous
help,
spot, first down.
and not play too much man coverage on D Wash, because he can alter the game pretty quickly and create quite the scenario where now it becomes a one-possession game.
Demarius Washington out of Dallas, Texas, played his college ball at Tyler Community College, but he's 6'5". Cedric Thomas is 5'10". So they're going to try to take advantage of that mismatch. And they did in that play, and they have the ball inside Billings territory now at the 23-yard line. McCullum back to pass, throws across the middle, and knocked into the boards. Cedric Thomas getting Edward Smith into the boards, but not before he catches it and picks up a first down for the Liberty.
And with the Liberty creating more or calling more longer routes, now it's extremely imperative for the defensive line to get involved, to put pressure on him, because you cannot let McCullum sit back there and pick you apart. He has the ability to do it.
On that big offensive line for Billings, Ciosi Fee now, number 44, right in the middle. You see him there, staring right at McCullum. McCullum drops back, looking, getting some pressure. Now he throws incomplete into the end zone. Oh no, he caught it. I couldn't see here as he disappeared behind the boards, but it's complete to Tracy Brooks, and that's a touchdown for Salina.
Now that was a great catch. Actually a great throw, great angle by McCullum, great haul by Brooks, and just trying to claw themselves back into the game.
Here we go, McCullum facing some pressure. Oh, that was a great catch. We're up about halfway up in the Metro, and he disappeared behind the boards down there, so we had to wait for the officials. From here, it looked like he might have bounced it, but no, a great catch. Great pass by McCullum. And here's McInerney. He splits the uprights, and just like that, Salina is back on the board. 35-21 as the Liberty get back in the scoring column here in the third quarter. 6:22 to go. We're going to be right back here to Rimrock Auto Arena. You see our score. Don't go away. We're back after this.
Putting new roofing or siding on your home is not just about slapping on shingles. It's an engineered system. Hi, I'm Mitch Donahue, and this is my son Dylan.
We're proud to be local experienced contractors using the best materials around. We don't just meet code requirements, we exceed them.
Your new project is an investment. With Donahue Roofing and Siding, you can put your money into your home where it belongs.
Why not use the best? Call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
In a world where only the strong survive, one team stands above the rest. The Billings Outlaws. Get ready for the ultimate showdown where the gridiron turns into a battlefield. Are you ready to witness raw power, unrelenting spirit, and the true heart of champions? Join the Outlaws Nation and be part of the revolution. Don't just watch history being made. Be a part of it. Billings Outlaws, defying the odds, rewriting the game.
Back with the kickoff. This is Shea McInerney trying to, and it's fielded in the end zone by number 1 for the Outlaws, and he's up to midfield off the boards. Art Anderson, great return there. These kickoffs, you kind of have to hold your breath to see if it's going to go to the uprights or not. Both teams have done a good job, Mike, fielding that and bringing it out, because anything can happen, as we've pointed out.
During the return,
yes.
holding.
That's why they call it one of the
Billings,
most
number
exciting
13,
plays in the game.
distance to the
Kickoff
goal,
return or punt
first
return.
down.
We heard owner Stephen Titus talk about, well, we have a penalty flag down, I just noticed, laying at the 10-yard line, so that's backing up the Outlaws. It's been an illegal block of some sort. Back to the 5-yard line. And that's where the Outlaws will put it in play, so they lose 15 yards on the kick return by Arthur Anderson, the 4th. Isaac Harker. This is the first possession of the second half for Billings, as they had a pick 6, their first possession on defense, and now Salina has answered that score, and that's where we stand, 35-21, after the Outlaws led at 28-14 at halftime. Both teams have scored once here in the third period. In motion goes Anderson. Harker looking for some, and a penalty flag will fly. It looks like some holding. Intended receiver out there, Derek Harvey, but it looked like somebody had a hold of his jersey.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the intention was on that play call. That was a bit of a strange play call there. It didn't seem like
Pass
they were trying to
interference.
create anything.
Number 5 on the defense, 10 yards from the
for the
previous
offense
spot,
to
first
say.
down.
But they got bailed out. Defensive pass interference.
And that's an automatic first down. It puts the Outlaws in business at the 15-yard line. Clock running here. 5.5 minutes left in the third period. Shedrick Bonner, the offensive coordinator, has his call into Isaac Harker. Harker with Swoboda. Big fullback right behind him. Now in motion, here comes Derek Harvey. Harker drops straight back, throws it deep, finds his man. That's Dwayne Brown, loose at the 10, inside the 7. Tackle and finally made there by Dontra Matthews, but not before Harker finds Brown for the nice completion.
And that's a great back shoulder throw, one of the most difficult routes to cover for a defensive back, and Brown came up with it, made a great catch. Moved the chains for the Outlaws.
Dwayne Brown, 5'11", 205, played his college ball at the Indiana University in Pennsylvania. He's from Fayetteville State. He also played. Right there. Here comes Harker now. The pitch to Swoboda, running across the 5, and he's hauled back and pushed back by Travis Taylor. Nice tackle made. You can see Swoboda there. Lost his helmet in the mix. Just enough running to keep the other team honest.
Yes, keep the team honest and don't let them rest on their laurels and back off to play more advantageous pass coverage.
Ball inside the 5-yard line now. See Swoboda, kind of a cherry on his forehead there. It's a rough and tumble game.
He's a tough runner.
Yes, he is.
It shows.
There goes Anderson in motion. Harker throwing. Almost found Anderson, popped up right at the boards. We're going to watch that on the replay again, but 3 Salina Liberty defenders were there. Anderson was the only blue shirt in the area, and he had it for a second. Watch this again. Harker drops back, looking. Had it for a second, and then, that was up for grabs there for a second.
Yes. Harker's getting lucky. This has been the second Second pass, I've seen him kind of force it slightly. The first was a pass interference, go off his back foot, and that one was a bit of a force. Seemed like it was double coverage. And so he's got to be careful. Don't do too much. We're up by a couple scores, and just be disciplined.
Here's the pitch to Swoboda on third down. Going to come up a little bit short. Pitch from Harker as Swoboda tried the left side that time. Tackle made there by Kerry Starks, number 15 for the Liberty. So here it is. Big play, fourth down. Mike, what do you like?
I would actually go with Swoboda again. He's running tough. I would try to punch it in with Swoboda. Tough to say his name. A lot of.
Can we get a vowel?
Yes.
A lot of consonants.
Yeah, a lot of consonants.
Hunter Swoboda.
Yes.
We mentioned out of Ouachita Baptist in Arkansas, so they've got the ball spotted right at the 2, and they're going to go for the field goal. Here goes Bailey Giffen. He'll be trying about a 16-yard field goal from the 8. High snap. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Through the uprights.
I respect the call.
I'm waiting. Yep.
I respect the call.
Media.
Good possession.
Second media timeout of the quarter.
And the Outlaws expand their lead 38-21. The Outlaws on that 16-yard field goal by Bailey Giffen. We're going to take a timeout. There's the score in the third quarter, 38-21. Billings leads Salina.
In a world where only the strong survive, one team stands above the rest. The Billings Outlaws. Get ready for the ultimate showdown where the gridiron turns into a battlefield. Are you ready to witness raw power, unrelenting spirit, and the true heart of champions? Join the Outlaws Nation and be part of the revolution. Don't just watch history being made. Be a part of it. Billings Outlaws. Defying the odds. Rewriting the game. Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Welcome back, fans. Billings leading Salina 38-21 with 1:39 to go here in the third quarter. It's been back and forth. Billings jumping out to a 14-point lead at halftime, but both teams have traded scores here in the third quarter. Billings with a pick six and now a field goal, while Salina got a touchdown pass. We stand 38-21. Jay Cohn along with Michael Bazemore bringing you the action from Rimrock Auto Arena. Game is not disappointed here as Bailey Giffen, the kicker for Billings, will kick this ball off from the goal line. And back deep, Otis Odom again. Up front of him is Eddie Smith. Or check that, Tracy Brooks. Here's the kick. Off the net. Odom has it. Can he get it outside the, boy, barely. Just got it across the goal line, out into the field of play, and they'll tackle him right at the, not even the 2-yard line. So Odom with a hand on him, that was Dwayne Brown, got just one big paw on him and knocked him down with that.
That is a great play by Brown. Hustle down. All it takes is a little bit, just a hand, and get him down by any means necessary. There aren't too many perfect tackles in football. You just got to get the person down.
Right. Well, Tracy Brooks went down there. You see him. Tracy out of Lochapoka, Alabama. All right. Charles McCullum, their quarterback, in his own end zone, throws across the middle. It is picked off. Carrance Higgins into the end zone. No one touched him, and that's another pick six for the Billings Outlaws. What a play that was.
That's a great look at Coach Cedric Walker. He is Animated, I love it, Coach. That's a great call. He sniffed it out, had the robber come underneath that quick pitch and catch, and great break on the ball by Higgins.
Terrence Higgins, a 2-yard pick six. McCullum just trying to get a quick hitter out, and like you said, he stepped right in the path. Looked like they almost drew that up. Coach Walker fired up.
Calling a great game, great execution by the players as well.
And that will be the final play here in the third quarter as Bailey Giffen comes on to add the extra point for Billings, and he splits the uprights again. Perfect 6 for 6 and add the extra point and the field goal as well. Great night for Bailey Giffen. Okay, we're all 3 quarters in the books. It's Billings 45, the Salina Liberty 21. We'll take a timeout. Don't go away.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
When storms happen, storm chasers from out of state immediately follow.
You've probably seen them running around town lately. My father has owned this company for over 20 years.
I've been local my whole life, and we're going to be here long after the storm is over.
Donahue Roofing offers an unprecedented lifetime warranty. We're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau.
We'll work with your insurance company to make it easy on you.
When you need help, choose local.
And call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
All right, we're here back with the last 15 minutes of the ballgame. Look at the score. Your Billings Outlaws leading the visiting Salina Liberty 45-21. 3 defensive touchdowns turned in here tonight by the Outlaws so far. 3 defensive scores. That's the difference in the game, Mike. Bailey Giffen going to be kicking off here at the goal line again. And it'll be Otis Odom back. Giffen's got to be trying to get the deuce here, but he just wants to make sure they don't get a run back on him. Here's the kick. It's deep, and it's through the uprights. That's a deuce, and that's worth 2. I'm telling you, keep an eye on the kickers. One of our storylines going in.
The ball was kicked through the uprights. By rule, it's 2 points for Billings. The ball will be placed on the 5-yard line. First down,
All
Salina.
right, so Bailey Giffen really showing off his leg here tonight. He's perfect in the extra points, perfect in the field goal department, and now kicks a deuce from the goal line and splits the uprights. Keep in mind those uprights only 9 feet apart. Here's the replay on it. Wow, and he kicked it. Plus he has to avoid the scoreboard here at the Metra that drops down over the middle of the field, so it's a little bit of a dicey situation.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, you mentioned the turnovers, and it's tough to win any game when you have 3 turnovers, especially for scorers. And when you compound that with being on the road, it's just very tough to win a game with those mistakes.
The Billings with a 26-point lead now. Let's see what Liberty can do. Salina going deep. That was a pass interference call. Again, that mismatch as Cedric Thomas just pretty much outmanned by Demarius Washington, but it's either that or give up the touchdown.
Yes,
almost. He had to do something.
Yes, in those situations.
We have a penalty flag back on the far end of the field as well, so we'll watch as head referee Aaron Clonch sorts it out, and he'll announce here.
There are 2 penalties, both on the play. Pass interference, number 4, on Billings. That's 10 yards from the previous spot and a first down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Head coach for Billings, that's 10 yards from the end of the penalty, first down.
Well, you heard the bad news for the Billings fans. Head coach Cedric Walker gets a personal foul himself after that play. Maybe he's trying to fire up his team, but right now they're fired up with a 26-point lead. So the ball resting at midfield here now for Salina. The Liberty trying to get back in this ball game after finding themselves down by 26 points. That clock is running. It's not their friend. McCullum, the quarterback, he will send Odom in motion. Back to pass, penalty flags fly, and the pass is complete to Tracy Brooks, who slammed into the boards. Tackle made by Derek Harvey, and some words exchanged along with Siaso Finau down there. I think it's all friendly as they tap each other on the helmets. Well, let's see what this penalty is about.
False start.
False
On
start.
the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that backs the Liberty up back to their own 20-yard line. Here's another look at it.
Someone was out of position as Coach Walker is getting on one of his defensive backs. It seemed like he allowed for a receiver to come underneath the coverage and get some yards on top of that catch, but negated by a false start.
The penalty did stop the clock. Here comes McCullum, throws across the middle, has his man. That's Otis Odom. Tackle made there by Cedric Thomas, but not before a gain down to the 17-yard line. That'll bring up second down and only about 3.
And so now the Liberty have to get the play calling in faster, their tempo. They have to call plays quicker.
Urgency.
Yes,
trailing by
urgency.
26, and that clock running. Let's see what Coach Haran O'Neal has in store. McCullum throwing, finding his man. That's Tracy Brooks, and he's into the end zone after breaking a tackle at the 12. Touchdown for the Salina Liberty.
And that was a great individual effort by Brooks. Spin outside. Defender definitely didn't have his base. And as you see, one costly missed tackle, a quick score.
Cedric Thomas, he's been in the middle of a lot of plays tonight. But right there, Brooks, as you said, did a little spin move out. Got away from the tackle, in for the score. Now here's Shane McInerney to add the extra point. Demario Benson on the hold. These kickers are really showing their stuff tonight.
Yeah.
McInerney splits the uprights.
All the way over from Ireland. It's from the same city as my brother-in-law.
From Galway, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
fact.
Played his college ball in Nebraska, and up till now had been playing for the Arizona Rattlers and the Orlando Predators. Said right now all he wants to do is see if he can make it to the NFL. I had to mention to him he has got a great Irish accent. They said, did you see Shane Lowry today, who shot a 62 in the PGA Championship? He knew nothing about golf, but they have the same accent, so I had to mention it to him.
Yes, yes.
The clock stopped here. 12 minutes to go in this final fourth quarter, and the Salina Liberty has just tacked on another touchdown, and McInerney has added the extra point. That pass to Tracy Brooks. Good for a 15-yard touchdown pass from Chuck McCullum.
If the Liberty have any chance of getting back into this game and making it extremely interesting, we need to stop on defense. They need a big stop on defense.
Perhaps they will try an onside kick. Billings thinks they might. They've got 6 of their players up inside the 20. No, he's going to kick it, and the flags fly and the whistles sound. Let's see what.
Prior to the kick, timeout, Billings.
Timeout,
First
Billings.
of the half.
Takes their first of 3 timeouts here in the second half. We'll keep it here. You think Billings was thinking they were going to do an onside kick? I don't know. They had everyone up there, but.
Yes, don't want to take any chances, so let's be conservative and make a catch here with the returner and get as many yards as you can. It's probably the thought process as opposed to trying to break one for a touchdown.
If you're just joining us here in the fourth quarter, we'll recap the game for you briefly. At the end of one, it was 14-7 Billings at halftime. Billings continued with that lead, but they had expanded it to 28-14 after a couple of defensive touchdowns in that first half. Gave Billings the extra possession. In the third quarter, Billings jumped out to a 45-21 lead. And then it was the deuce, the kick that went through the uprights from Bailey Giffen on the kickoff to give Billings a 47-21 lead at the end of the third. But just there we saw McCullum score on the pass to Brooks. And here's the kick. It goes out of bounds, untouched underneath the goalposts.
Got the kiddos back
ball
there.
Was kicked underneath
Bit of a
net by
scrum.
rule. The ball will be placed at the 10-yard line, first down
to recover
Billings.
the ball. And that's the beauty of arena football, where you can get right up close on the action, and so that's just the beauty. Family entertainment, and you have a chance to just kind of be a part of be a part of it all.
And as we saw earlier, you need to pay attention. There was a couple plays that ended up in the laps of a few fans, and one fan was shaken up down here, but I think he's okay, or he or she's okay. So right now, Billings putting the ball in play at the 10-yard line, leading 47-28. Harker. Pass to Cross Higgins is complete, but it looked like there was kind of a scramble for the ball there but it's complete out to the 16-yard line, so that'll bring up second down for Billings. 2nd and 5.
Good conservative play. Hitches on the outside. Nothing too fancy. Just keep the clock rolling.
Keep that clock rolling is the
time of possession. That's going to be key here.
Try to stay away from some turnovers.
Yes, make them make a mistake.
Harker back, loses the ball. Penalty flags fly. I believe the Liberty might have been offsides on that. But Harker, as he retreated, lost the handle on the ball, but was able to get it back. Here's the call.
Sides, number 8 on the defense, 5 yard from the previous spot.
Offside against the Liberty, trying to get a little extra step. You may see it here, but I think it was on the air. There's the movement right there. Traction against Travis Taylor, number 8, and you can see the ball on the turf. So the first penalty will move it up to the 21, and that'll give Billings a first down. And that clock continues to run now at 10:30 left here in the ball game. Isaac Harker, the quarterback for Billings, played his college ball again at the Colorado School of Mines, and before that at Indiana State. Here is Hunter Swoboda, straight up the middle, across the 25 into Liberty territory down to the 23-yard line.
Big run, big run. Looks like a 7-yard gain by Swoboda.
They're running right behind Terrence Ames Jr., the big guard out of Virginia Union, number 56. He has a touchdown catch to his credit in this game. He'll want us to remember that.
Maybe the rule of thumb is when the defensive lineman gets a touchdown, the first beverage may be on him.
Well, we do have a shot clock. There is the game clock on each end of the field here. It's a 30-second clock, so they have to be cognizant of that. Right now it's down 5 seconds to snap it. Billings will want to take full advantage of using as much clock as possible. Here's the pass complete to Dwayne Brown, loose at the 5, jumps in the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Billings Outlaws. Dwayne Brown, and a great pass there by Harker.
Yes, that's where you take a curl, take it up the field, make a play on the defender, make a great score. Great individual effort by Brown.
Get another look at it here on the replay. Look at Harker, finds his guy.
Oh, yeah, that's just the curl.
D-Wash just
2 missed tackles and take it in.
Yep. Or it might have been Dontre Matthews. I thought it was Washington, but it was Matthews who made that move and got juked by Dwayne Brown for the score. So here's Giffen. He continues his perfect night as he splits the uprights. Make
Timeout.
it 55 to 28.
Media timeout of the fourth quarter.
And this is the point in the game where you start to hang your head if you're the Liberty, but the film is always on, always watching, and the coach wants to see how you respond when a game is seemingly out of hand. How do you continue to play?
20-yard touchdown pass. Parker to Dwayne Brown. The extra point. Kicked by Giffen, and I believe it should be 55 to 28. Nope, that's right, 54. It was 47, and that 7 points adds to us 54 to 28. How about our kicker, Bailey Giffen? Perfect in the extra points, perfect in the field goal, and has a deuce to his credit as well. We'll get to watch him kick off here in just a minute. Well, the Outlaws trying to get the fans fired up, and there's no reason they shouldn't be fired up. What a performance here tonight.
Yes, the Outlaws are clicking on all cylinders.
Looking ahead to towards next week, I can tell you that Billings, we're scheduled to play the Southwest Kansas Storm. Let's hope that stays true on Saturday, May 25th down there at the United Wireless Arena. And Salina is scheduled to play the Rapid City Marshals, and we're not sure about Rapid City. They forfeited against Billings last weekend. I believe they begged out of their game this weekend, so we'll see. I do know that watching the coach's show with Haran O'Neill, that May 25th date in Salina is a big deal. They do a military appreciation, so they will have a home game. The opponent yet to be determined. It could be Rapid City, it might be somebody else. Again, we're asking the AFL fans for a little patience, a little flexibility. All I know is the players and the coaches are getting prepared and ready to go and play the game and win the game. The extracurricular stuff will happen all on its own. Here's the kick by Giffen off the boards, off the rebound nets. This is Odom running full speed out to the 14-yard line, where he is brought down out there by Hunter Swoboda on the tackle, along with Dallas Dixon for Billings.
Yeah, and all you can do as a player, as a coach, is control what you can control with all the disruptions and the operations of the league itself. And hopefully everything gets worked out, because it's definitely a good product. It's just a matter of obviously some things coming together on the back end to course correct.
I think early on it was as they rebooted and tried to get the AFL back going again. Obviously it's a much bigger task than people give it credit for. And unfortunately things didn't pan out the way they thought, but they're going to work it out. And I believe we are got one of the top teams in the league here in Billings and Salina as well. Here's the pass to Dewash. He's wide open across into Billings territory, across the 20 and down to the 15-yard line. Well, the tackle is finally made by Derek Harvey, but that's first down for the Liberty. Dewash going, I'm wide open.
Yes,
I'm right here. Big number one.
Took a while for McCullum to locate him, but once he did, he got it to him and moved the chains and trying to get a score here.
So right now Salina is trying to answer the latest score by the Outlaws, and they've got it first, and they can still get a first down without getting a touchdown. Here's the pass, complete across the middle.
Good catch.
Again by Tracy Brooks. He was juggling it as he went down, but hauled it in.
Brooks.
McCullum making good decisions. There it is. Cedric Thomas again in on the defense. He's really had a busy night.
Yes, yes indeed.
Cedric, native of Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, here's McCullum, and they say send Dewash into motion. McCullum looking, getting some pressure, throws it to no one in particular, and now the penalty flag flies in the end zone. It was intended for Tracy Brooks, but he was pretty much being hugged down there by a couple of Outlaws.
Pass interference.
Pass interference
Defense
call.
number 8, half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That'll bring up an automatic first down for the Liberty. And they move the ball down to the 4-yard line is where it'll be spotted. The clock continues to run now. That's the friend of the Billings Outlaws now as they lead at 54-28. Salina right now just trying to answer that latest score, and then they'll see about getting the ball back. Clock ticking down inside 6 minutes. Here's Chuck McCullum. He's got Brooks and Washington split out to the right side. And pass to Washington, wide open to the end zone, touchdown. Isaiah McFarland trailing him across the field. And D-Wash scores. And that brings the Liberty even closer.
Coach Walker is upset, as obviously the game is a bit out of hand for the Liberty, but he is more focused on execution as it's still early in the season and he wants things to not come back in the back half of the season.
Absolutely. Here's McInerney to try the extra point. Benson on the hold. He splits the uprights, does McInerney. And that brings the Liberty up to 54-35 is our score right now. Now we would anticipate an onside kick. What do you think, Mike? They've got to get the ball back.
Yeah, they need possessions. That's just, the bottom line. They got to get possessions, and so an onside kick definitely should be the choice here, but maybe they play it honest and kick it deep and try to get a
Or he might try to kick a deuce.
Yeah, kick a deuce.
Scored 2 points without ever putting the ball in play, so to speak. Coach Walker over there talking to his charges. Of course, the Outlaws, he has lots of help with the Outlaws. His assistant head coach, Shedrick Brown. Offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, Mania Smith. Has a long and bonding history with the Outlaws. Preston Roberts, special teams, wide receivers, and Chris Turner coaching the defensive line this year for the Outlaws. You heard owner Stephen Titus at halftime say he believes they have the, if not the, for sure one of the best coaching staffs in the league. He believes it's the best, but then he's the owner. He would.
Absolutely. He may be a bit biased, but I can back up the experience of Mania Smith and Chris Turner. I played with them for a number of years. And then Preston Roberts is also very experienced as well. And the things that he does for the community itself in Billings, running the Yellowstone Youth Football Association. And so there's a lot of experience, and you'd be surprised just because you don't know when you come to smaller cities, what kind of experience you'll get. And so luckily for, Coach Walker, he didn't have to bring in a lot of experience for the coaching staff. He had some guys right here in the city willing to obviously help out.
Well, you saw the kickoff there. Shane McInerney trying for the deuce. Came up just a little bit short. They decided to forego the onside kick and see if they could get to the easy way as far as just kick at the length of the field. Harder than it looks, though, let me tell you that. All right, so Billings, the clock running now, less than 5 minutes. Here comes the pitch to Swoboda, and the penalty flags fly. So this will stop the clock. That's not what Billings wanted to do, is to stop the clock with penalties. We're going to
I believe that was a false start on the nose tackle.
Offsides.
Offsides.
Defense number 95, 5-yard penalty will replay first down.
Offsides, yes.
So it does stop the clock, but Billings will take it as it moves the ball 5 yards downfield. The ball's at the 15-yard line now. And the clock starts again. So Salina comes in with a 2-0 record, Billings with a 3-0 record, and right now the Outlaws with a sizable advantage, 54-35, as the clock runs with 4 minutes, 25 seconds left in the game. Harker going deep, has a man, wide open, and knocked away at the last second. Dallas Dixon had a beat on it. Give credit to Dontre Matthews, I believe, may have just ticked it right at the last second, or maybe Dallas Dixon just couldn't haul it in. Let's get another look at it. Parker back.
And
Nice
Dixon's
pass.
going to want that one back, as it was a beautiful pass by
and no one tipped
Harker,
it. It was,
and he just didn't haul it in. And he's kicking himself because, you caught the defense napping a little bit. They weren't expecting a deep route and perfect setup, but yet he didn't haul it in, so he's going to kick himself when he sees
you could see those
that
boards
drop
coming
in film
up.
session.
Tried to peek a little bit. All right, here goes Dixon again. The quick pass to the sidelines, complete to Dwayne Brown. He's had a busy night, and he's across the 20 out to right at the 20-yard line. And that clock continuing to run now. Less than 3.5 minutes to go. I think there was a lot of anxious moments for both teams. They were just anxious to get this game underway, given all the consternation in the league. And they knew each other might be posing the toughest competition to date for either team. And right now, it looks like Billings very much up to the task, as they've enjoyed this home field advantage and have a 19-point lead now. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the game.
Yeah, Billings has definitely showed up tonight and executed very well.
There goes Dixon in motion. Parker looking for him. Over the middle, nearly picked off.
Yes, as a defensive back,
Dontra Matthews.
Yes, he's got to haul that one in, and it's just those small mistakes for the Liberty. It's just been the theme all night, and so they'll definitely go back to the drawing board and look at as many mistakes as they had, as that's caused this gap in the score between both teams.
That was a dangerous pass by Harker into double coverage, it looked like.
Yes, and that's one of those things where, as a quarterback and you have the lead, you don't have to force it.
Less than 2 minutes to go now. Here's the pitch to Swoboda. Has some blocking. Free at the 20. Down he goes at the 19-yard line. And this would be exactly what Billings wants to do, just run that clock. It'll stop with a minute to go, but Hunter Swoboda getting some valuable reps here.
Absolutely, as you don't see a lot of rushing yards in the indoor game, obviously, with the field dimensions and it's being more of a passer's league, or most leagues. And so it's always a good chance when the running backs can rack up some yards and definitely some touchdowns as well.
Well, we knew that Haran O'Neal and the Liberty would make some adjustments at halftime, but let's give credit to Coach Cedric Walker and the Charges here from the Billings Outlaws. They made some adjustments and they've actually had the upper hand here in the second half as well. Clock is stopped with 1 minute. We're going to take a timeout. Final minute of the game coming up. So far, it's been pretty much all Billings, 54-35. Back to wrap this up with 1 minute to go in a moment.
Hi, I'm Mitch with Donahue Roofing and Siding here in Billings, Montana. Whether you have storm damage and you need a professional to help you with your insurance claim, or you just want to spruce up the outside of your home with a new look, call the professionals at Donahue Roofing and Siding today, and we will be happy to come and help you with your project. We have the expertise to help you make the decisions on which siding and roofing is right for your project and your budget. Call us today.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Hi, I'm Mitch with Donahue Roofing and
1 minute to go here at the Rimrock Auto Arena, TDS Fiber Field. The Billings Outlaws fans have enjoyed this one from the get-go. As Billings leads it by 19, 54-35. Final minute of the ball game. Expect them maybe to run it again, as they want this clock to run down. Salina might take some timeouts. Here's the give to Swoboda up the middle. Tackled right away.
bit of a counter play, just trying to get a first down. But, yes, keep the clock rolling.
It looks like a timeout. Oh, no. Clock is going to run. Ron O'Neill saying no reason to call a timeout. Down by 19. So this has been a total success here tonight. A pretty good crowd, fired up fan base. Big win over one of their arch rivals in the league, Salina Liberty, that's had kind of the upper hand against Billings as of late in the last couple of years. So Billings has to chalk this up as thumbs up all the way around. Here's Swoboda again on the run up the middle. Clock is still running, 15 seconds, 14 seconds. That likely will be the final play of the game. Great team effort here by Billings. As the clock ticks down, Billings will go 4-0 on this young season and will await their next opponent next weekend. Salina will drop to 2-1. So Haran O'Neill comes back to the Billings Metra, looking for a welcome home party. Big hug in the middle of the field between Cedric Walker and Haran O'Neill. This matchup goes in the favor of the Billings Outlaws. 54-35 the final. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back to wrap things up from the Rimrock Auto Arena. Your final again, Billings 54, Salina 35. We'll be right back.
Let's play the hell of a game. And while you put your hands together, Billings, how about the new king of the Outlaws, Coach Cedric Walker?
I guess we'll keep it right here now as we watch kind of that post-game things. There's Mania Smith, some big hugs, some of the players that he knows so well. That's Chuck McCullum, quarterback here in Billings the last couple of seasons. Your assessment, Mike, I know this is maybe the first time you've seen the Outlaws this year. You saw them last year a couple times. It's sure nice to have you on the broadcast. What's your impression?
Yeah, they're a well-coached team. They definitely got to have the talent to compete at a very high level. And it's going to be a matter of obviously staying consistent and obviously getting lucky with injuries, as you don't want your main contributors on the sideline. But yeah, they have something going, and so it definitely is going to be fun to watch, and we just got to keep this going.
Keep the momentum going. They certainly have it, going to 4-0 in the season. Now we're going to take a quick timeout as you see the fans out thanking and big congratulations to the Outlaw players. 54-35 your final. Back with some highlights to wrap things up. The Outlaws pick up their 4th victory of the season.
Coach O.
Hi, I'm Mitch with Donahue Roofing and Siding here in Billings, Montana. Whether you have storm damage and you need a professional to help you with your insurance claim, or you just want to spruce up the outside of your home with a new look, call the professionals at Donahue Roofing and Siding today, and we will be happy to come and help you with your project. We have the expertise to help you make the decisions on which siding and roofing is right for your project and your budget. Call us today.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Well, smiles all around tonight here at the Rimrock Auto Arena, TDS Fiber Field. You see the final. Billings really making a statement here in the early part of the AFL season, sending the Salina Liberty packing 54-35. Jay Cohn along with Michael Bazemore here as we're kind of summarizing our thoughts on the game. Michael, this was a game that Billings pounced on their opportunities early. They pounced on a Chuck McCullum fumble that rolled into the end zone early. They gave the defense a score in the first quarter. Here's some of the highlights. This is the second half. This is the opening play of the second half. Big pick six here by Derek Harvey as he breaks tackles all the way to the end zone. That looked like Salina was going to score and get right back in the game, and quickly Billings went to a 3-possession advantage. There was a great catch by Tracy Brooks into the corner, and here's another pick six by Billings. It looked like Salina was backed up at their own goal line, and Carance Higgins picks it off, a 2-yard touchdown, but it was so huge as far as the timing as it came right in that busy third quarter when Billings added 2 defensive scores. This man had a big game, Dwayne Brown, and what a run that was as he came in. That was the score that put Billings comfortably ahead, and McCullum near the end found Demarius Washington again, but it was a little too late as Billings had built up a 3-possession advantage, and they go on to win it 54-35. How about your assessment of the quarterback play, Michael? This Isaac Harker has done a nice job for Billings. Makes good decisions. You made a bad decision right at the start of the game through a pick.
Yes.
From that point on, it looked like he got the cobwebs out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he just has to mature slightly and do a better job of reading the defense a little better. But he definitely has a good skill set. He makes some good throws. Just has to watch the forces every now and then, and just take what the defense gives you. And as far as on the other opposite end of the spectrum, McCullum has a very obviously storied career in various leagues. I think he's won a championship in the AFL. And then he also was, I believe, the MVP of that league as well. And
absolutely.
So, kind of the battle of an experienced quarterback with the accolades versus a quarterback that's just obviously trying to make a name for himself. And he came out on top. He did a great job of battling his opponent.
And let's talk about that Billings defense coming up with 3 defensive scores. The difference in this game, and I know you're a defensive-minded guy yourself, you have to be pleased to see that.
Oh, absolutely. You love when you get into the end zone as a defense, and to get 3 scores is obviously, icing on the cake.
All righty. Next week, Billings hits the road, scheduled to meet the Southwest Kansas Storm next Saturday, May 25th. Salina will be at home, and it remains to be seen who their opponent is. Right now they're scheduled to take on Rapid City, but the Marshals' future is in doubt. So they say they will definitely have a game next week. We'll have to wait and see exactly who the opponent is. So it's been our pleasure to bring you this AFL key game, perhaps one of the better games of the season so far. At least if you're a Billings Outlaws fan, you'd have to think that. It's been all Outlaws as they turn back. Haran O'Neal in his return to the Magic City and the Rimrock Auto Arena. The Outlaws, under head coach Cedric Walker, get their 4th win in the season. They're 4-0, atop of the standings with a 54-35 win over the Salina Liberty. For all our sponsors, thanks for joining us. For Michael Bazemore, providing our color commentary tonight, thanks for helping us out. I'm Jay Cohn. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.